I'd like to thank you today for joining me and Stefania Ballone, my friend, in a conversation about dance and choreography. Stefania is a dancer and choreographer with the distinguished company Teatro alla Scala di Milano. We've been friends for a year. We were introduced by my friend Yuval Avital, who's a guitarist and performer and impresario living in Milan, and who orchestrated an event called Human Signs. Human Signs is an attempt to bring artists and singers, dancers from around the world together as a kind of sympathetic understanding, commiseration in the midst of the lockdown and the challenges that we have all faced because of the pandemic. Stefania and I have had ongoing conversations for a year, and I was so pleased when Anna Abraham offered me the opportunity to interview Stefania as part of the Festival of Ideas. It's very rare indeed that we can pull back the curtain, so to speak, and talk to the dancer herself, who also is a choreographer and a teacher of dance. So let me introduce Stefania, and we'll begin our conversation. I advise you, before listening to us, to have watched in full her lovely piece, Soul Etude, which we've made available to you. And Stefania and I will intersperse our conversation with little scenes from Soul Etude that she will talk about as we're watching. I will then turn the sound down. So Stefania, perhaps you can introduce yourself and give the audience a sense for your approach and philosophy to dance and choreography.
First of all, thank you very much to have been invited me to this interview for the Festival of Ideas. Thank you very much to you and to Anna. And it's a pleasure for me to be here with you today and to speak about myself, what I do since I'm child. The dance is the lucky of my life. It's the possibility to express myself not only with the words but especially with my body, and to discover and to research on it, because I like to go over and to go always deep in this process. So also because I decided to be myself also a creative person and to try to be a choreographer since, I have to say, 7-8 years, something like this. I have the big chance to dance in one of the most beautiful theater in the world, that is Teatro alla Scala, and I hope you can come one day and see how beautiful it is, my theater. Sorry, I have to say. And so I had this great opportunity to dance in Scala as a ballet dancer most. But in the years, I discovered also other kind of languages, modern and contemporary, and that are also a language in which I feel much more comfortable. And I used to create quite often, contemporary pieces. Also, I did 2 little things in La Scala. I had this great chance, and but I used to create for my project outside of La Scala, and I'm collaborating since 2016 with a very important festival of contemporary dance here in Milano, Milano Oltre. And from this year, I've been nominated associated artist of this festival from this year until 2024. So I will create more and more with them, and I have this chance to continue my choreographic discourse and my creativity. As you told before, I created Solitude in September. I showed in September, and I created some months before September. I was invited by the director of the festival, Milano Oltre, for this new set that he created after COVID time. He wanted to create this section that is called Crowded Solitudes. It's a section of solos. He invited the 10 choreographers to show solo. as we stayed a lot in lockdown, as we had this long period of solitude and stillness in a way, he thought to recreate this solitude also in a section of this festival. And so I was invited for a solo, but finally I decided to go and to be two, because I felt too much alone for 2 years. So I didn't want to stay alone anymore. No, I'm joking, I'm sorry. But finally I decided to be in two, and I presented the solo that is in a way, is a study, is a trip, is a voyage into my soul. Is the inspiration is solitude, is etude in France, is the study of the soul. And I like this joke of the words and semantic, this semantic, yes, way, with two different languages. And it was just the first inspiration. I wanted to make a dive into my soul and just see what I could show.
And solitude is not solitude, because you have a second dancer with you. Was
Yes.
that the idea from the beginning, or did that emerge from your exploration of yourself?
I wanted to be alone. First of all, I wanted to be alone on the stage, but I started to create, thinking that I needed a cover, because never know in our. And I started in March. The premiere was in September. So I said to myself, okay, I take a cover. And she's a young dancer in the company, La Scala company. So I asked it to her, and she was really excited to participate to this show, or just learn and be there for this creation. So, and also because I thought that I would need another person in the room with me to create, and also to have another person to make video and see how it looks. And so we started together to work together, and I started from some workshop together. And the cue was, I do some movement and you follow me. You try to be my
Shadow.
Yes.
And resonance.
Yes.
Together.
And then you do, and I try to be your shadow. And after one, maybe two, maximum 2 rehearsals, I felt she was so with me, totally. And I felt this energy so special, so quiet, so precious. So I said to myself, maybe I want you on the stage with me. That's the point. I need this because I wanna show my soul, and I'm not so unique. We are not so unique. We are not just one, really, and we have a lot. And sometimes this fullness comes up, so you feel that you have many different parts of you. You're not just one. Sometimes you feel okay. You feel like one. Resilience. No.
Yes, resonance. That's right. An echo.
Yes, and sometimes you feel in conflict with other parts. Sometimes you have a feeling, sometimes you have an emotion that comes out. You feel, sometimes it makes pain, sometimes it makes laughing, sometimes it makes remember, and it's a lot. It's a lot of things.
When you do this, when you plan it, when you do the choreography and you begin the study with the second dancer, is it all planned, or are there spontaneous moments? the unexpected?
When I started to create, or the result, because the result is a very all is constructed and good, defined, everything in the show, but the process started from a workshop, as I explained before, between me and her, and then I started to create a dramaturgy, so a sequence of the show that I wanted to have. So I wanted to divide the show in 4 sections that for me was important to do for the way to mise en scène. I don't know how to say it in
The
English.
mise en scène, yes, that's right, the presentation.
Yes.
And
yes.
so you have also what important to you was the lighting and the music was an important part of this. Costuming too.
Exactly, because it was all new. And I worked with new musicians that I met 1 month before starting to create. They are 2 musicians. They were looking for a choreographer, and I was looking for a musician. So we just met, and we immediately felt really in a good way. And when I presented my idea, they were immediately and really happy to work.
So you need some good luck and some magic too.
Yes.
So I suggest that we turn to the piece, and you've chosen 4 sections of the piece to look at. So what I'll do is I'll turn to the piece now, and let me just share the screen.
Yes.
And we'll start. And this is the first 2 minutes of the piece, and we're watching without the sound.
Okay. Yes. This is the beginning of the show. And this is the part in which we are 2 of us, we are exactly the same. So as we are totally as if we were one person, really one, just because my idea is that when you are, we say in Italian frequenza, when you are in you are totally connected with other parts of yourself, and you feel comfortable. You are totally not the same. Okay, you are alienated. I don't know if in English is good to say like this, but somehow this is the conflict moment. This is the moment in which sometimes you feel a crisis in yourself. You feel that you have something that arrives as a feeling, as an idea, as a remember, or as something that somebody told you, and you receive, or you feel that you are not in peace with yourself, and you feel a conflict. And this is the conflict moment. So when the split arrives.
And when we take a look at this, is this heavily rehearsed, or is there spontaneity here with your second dancer?
No, is everything fixed?
Everything is fixed.
Yes, totally. And she's the solist of La Scala Theater, Alessandra Vassallo. She's a very good dancer, and in this part, she's really my vulnerability, my cries, my fears, uncertainties. It's like
she's a kind of projection of your soul, and you dance together. There's an echo between you.
Yes, but in a conflict way. I'm leaving a conflict.
You're leading the conflict.
Yes.
So she's
yes,
always reacting in a sense.
yes, that's it. That's it.
And the second piece that you chose, you wrote to me called Memories. So now we
Yes.
move to this next phase.
Yes. And I wanted to say one thing, one element that is the music and the lights that change each sections and are really precise and created, and they follow the dramaturgy of the piece. So the first part, what we saw now, it's really electronic and it's really hard, I have to say. In this part of memory, the music, there is a piano, and it's the only part in the show that we have piano. And piano for me, for us, was the moment also of memories.
So I'll play a little piece with the sound and then we'll cut it so you can speak. You wanted me to go to 6 minutes. What is it like to watch yourself? Do you see mistakes? Do you feel it all over again? Do you feel corrections? Do you feel fulfillment? What is it like for the dancer choreography to actually see the performance?
It's not a very excited moment for us because we always see the bad things and no good made and mistakes. And the problem also with this element that is really fundamental in our job, that is the aesthetic. So how is your body and how looks like, and how it is when you move. So all the lines and the body and it's very hard. But in the first years, it was for me. I couldn't watch myself. But now I used to. I'm much more comfortable with my image. Uh,
But we've talked about it because the aesthetic is very important, but it's a kind of separate thing from the way the soul enters the work
yes,
because it
yes,
shapes the movement and it shapes the meaning. It gives the aesthetic life.
yes, yes,
I want to
and
show the third part that you selected
yes.
that you call Echo at 11 minutes. So let me just find it here. And again, let's listen to it and then we'll talk.
Can you hear the music? Can you?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, I can share the music, but I'll do that separately. So you referred to that as a kind of echo in choosing the music and how you work with the musician or with the orchestration. when does that happen? Early or later in the planning? How early do you do that?
We did many meetings about the concept, about the sections of the show. So the first is vulnerability, memories, echo, and then the final part when we again come back to the same how to say in English frequency, resonance. I don't know how to say.
And how long does it take between
And,
the
and
preparation and the performance? When were
they
you ready? How many months?
they came to see the rehearsal. They also took our breath during the piece. They recorded. They put in the first part. Then, after seeing many times the rehearsal, they started to create music. And then I also sent to them the videos. So the last part of the show, they created on the video, looking the video, watching the video of our rehearsal and putting the music on while they are looking, while they are watching and feeling what these images of this movement of the parts are telling in a way. So this was very important for me. And they said to me they have worked before with the dance, but never in this way to make the process, because they normally start from the music and then the dance. So the musician, the Japanese Taketo, told me, I've never heard that someone could do this kind of process, because normally I always knew that the dance is after the music. And I said, no, I wanted to start from the dance, from the gesture. That is my story.
So this is a special part of your collaboration, where
Yes.
you're bringing in and the lighting also is a separate
The
dimension.
lighting, totally. And the light designer is my lighting designer. I used to work with him since 2015. He was in La Scala, and he was in our meeting. So we discussed a lot, me, him, and the musicians, and we decided to have the floor white and to how to illuminate the stage. For example, in the second part, you can find that the stage is divided into parts, forward and behind.
And when does that decision about lighting come in? Early or later?
During the process.
During the process.
Yes, because we spoke about the concept. They came to see the rehearsal, and then each time something more started to go to arrive, no? Little by little, and then we defined everything. And the end, for example, now we are going to see the final part. We have just a circle, and the lights are more.
Well, let's take a look at that.
And it was not easy to dance and to move in this circle, this little circle of light, and around all the black. Not easy, huh?
Because why?
For
You
the
feel
balance.
trapped?
For the balance. Not easy for the balance. This part it's quite easy, but before this part we had to do a very difficult tour with the feet and the legs up, and the leg up. We call promenade is the term, and it was very hard. And we did like just one stage rehearsal with the lights, so it was not easy. The first we did two shows. The first show was a bit not very good. We had some.
And when you come to the end, what does it feel like when you finish the performance? Do you feel emptied out? Do you feel enlivened? Do you feel enriched? What does it feel like?
Empty and always in not I'm never happy in the sense I'm not like oh I made it wow I feel that I was very good and I was not. It's always something that I could say in doubt is I always ask to myself, did I do good? Did I show good what I wanted to say?
And in between the first performance and the second performance, are there changes? Do you feel you improved it? Or each time it has its own life?
No, the second one was better in the sense the first one was like a cold shower.
A wake up.
Yes. The second one, we had the conscious of what.
And we talked about with Andrea the concept of surveillance, an awareness of the self. Explain what it means here.
Yes, because also when you feel you wanna let go your movement and just feel your movement, there is always a part of you that is controlling, that is aware of what you are doing and how the movement looks like now. Also, if there is another part of you that is in the audience, is in the audience and is watching you like this.
And so you're inside and you're outside.
Yes.
And does inside and outside change as you become a more experienced dancer and a choreographer?
Yes.
Do you get better at moving in and moving out?
Yes. Maybe this is also a bit the goal, because it's a conscious also that you should improve in a way, because when you start you just want to feel, no, and to express without knowing really how to be aware of your instrument that is your body. But since you develop your technique, since you study every day to the bar, or you do your rehearsals and you just study on your body every day, please, then but it's a process, and then so it's getting better, the process in which you wanna in a kind always know how you can express and how you wanna use your instrument that is the body.
Now, this is a conference, the Festival of Ideas is focused on creativity. What does creativity mean to you as a dancer? And what does creativity mean to you as a choreographer? And as a teacher also.
Yes, as a dancer, I always thought, and now I can say really strong, to dance, it's like for me to recreate, to create or recreate a piece. I used to dance the ballet, Swan Lake, Giselle, all the repertoire. As I'm part of a ballet company, and each time for me is to recreate.
To recreate.
Yes, that is the only way to keep alive since 1000, since many years. So why?
So to recreate, you mean each time it's fresh. It feels fresh. And the audience has to see it as fresh.
Yes.
Not mechanical.
Yes. This is also the reason and the sense why we continue in the time to repeat and to show always the beautiful Swan Lake, Giselle, Sleeping Beauty, and also with the contemporary piece. I used to do that, and also and with my piece. So my point of view as a as choreographer, the creativity for me is to I used to take from the reality, because in the reality you can find a lot of dance, a lot of choreographies, not really natural choreographies, in the sense they are not with the structures, with the premeditation, but just sometimes looking people on the street, on some movement, or so, in every movement there is dance, also in the nature. So I used to take and to.
And so in terms of nature, does the wind, does the water shape your feeling of movement, and you bring this movement into your dance?
Yes, yes.
And what do you say as a teacher? What was your advice to people listening whose children want to dance? What was your advice as a teacher?
First of all, that dance is for everybody. And if you have the chance to dance in your life, please just do it, because it's one of the best things for me. And second one, it not apart from the level and from the, if you want to be professional or if you want to just have fun with dance, it's really important to, it's so important for the life to have a conscious of your body, and to understand really that how we can express our feeling and our emotion, and how sometimes you don't have the words sometimes to express something. So sometimes there is the body that can help you, or just arrives, I don't know why. So it's so important to start a connection with the body, and the dance helps somehow this connection and this relationship with our body, because we forget, I think we forget sometimes to discover the language and to go deep in this.
In our talking about the dancer is also an athlete, and there's the training and the focus and the purpose.
And I really believe in the training, in the strong training. I used to teach. I was a student, and I'm always a student. Every day, every morning, I put my hand on the bar and I study. And I have a teacher every day since I will die, because I want to make my bar since I will die. And I will have, I had, and I will have always a teacher in front of me saying, this is okay, this is no good. And this is one of the most important things of our jobs. You never arrive. You can do your premiere, you can have a great success, and the day after you will have always a teacher in front of you saying, look, take care, because you are not in good. Okay, just do this and study every day. It's the only thing. It's everything there. I really believe in the study. We have to train our body every day.
So one of the things that we've learned in our conversations, which I adore, of course, over the year, is in a certain sense, it doesn't matter how successful you are, because you're a successful dancer with a wonderful company and are well received and wanted in Europe. But we always learn the humility. We always improve. Yes. We should never take ourselves for granted. Every day we should learn.
And that's the dance. It was the main lesson for me. And it's a bit like life, no? It's, no?
So I want to thank Stefania Ballone. You can find her on YouTube.
And sorry for my English.
No, the English is perfect. You express yourself perfectly, just like our conversations on WhatsApp. So I want to thank you very much, and I hope everyone has seen the 18-minute performance, and thank you for participating in the interview with me. And now we will have the audience available to ask questions of us. Thank you again, Stefania, for our conversation.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.